we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the garage. Today we are going to try and get this thing running today, which means, well, this week, which means getting all the wiring finalized on the engine harness side of things, the computer, the fuel pump, and so forth. Because I've also got the wiring harness in for the interior. So I've got to get to work because I have got work piling up. Oh, here's where I'm at. I just want to see if it comes to life, if the fuel pump kicks on. I did just hook up a temporary wire from the gray wire to the fuel pump, from the fuel pump harness into this relay here. And then I've got all my pins plugged into here. It's a little janky looking, but so our main power is going to come from these two wires right there. The black wire, which I will remake red, is going to go to these first two. It's broken right here, so the rest of these 6 will not get power. That power is going to continue through this wire into this relay, where when I touch this small red wire right here to the battery, that's like turning the key to run. That'll open that relay, giving power to those 2 fuses. And this other red wire here will give power to this second fuel pump relay. And this yellow wire is going to the fuel pump wire. Okay, with those 2 wires hooked up, this will be like turning the key to run, and we should hear things come to life. Did I hear the fuel pump? Let's try this again. We'll turn it off. Oh, the fuel pump relay is working. I better check if we got leaks. You know what I'm not hearing is the throttle body doing its little test. And the dumbass word goes to... Now let's see if we get a throttle body test. Yes, we do. First fire up with the new harness right here. So now we put the key on. Oh. And this would be like hitting the starter. Okay, maybe it just needed some time to prime the fuel. We're gonna try to listen to see if the pump runs while I'm cranking. It is running again, right?
Yeah, just shut off.
Yeah, it's pumping. I think that's gonna be the VATS, vehicle anti-theft system, that's not letting it start. The body module is what controls that. It wasn't plugged in, and it wasn't a problem before. Somehow when I had it on the stand, I was able to get it running without the body module plugged in through, like, I don't know if I dissected the right kind of wire, so it just didn't know or didn't care or what, but if it was a park neutral, it wouldn't even crank and fire off at all. And that's exactly what it was doing when it was on the stand, and it was the VATS. The problem, I plugged in the body module and it fired right up on the stand. So I've got to get someone to come out here and plug into it and delete the VATS or turn it off. If you're in the Sacramento Valley area and you want to come help a brother out, hit me up on the messages, man. We'll DM or talk or whatever, see what happens. Thanks. And I picked up this box, a universal box here to hold a bunch of relays and fuses. We're going to swap everything over from that to this box because I've also got some more relays come in for the fans, they need somewhere to go, and I just thought it'd be nicer to package it all into one box. All right, you guys get one of them aftermarket harnesses for your LS swap, and notice that the connector here for the mass airflow sensor is way too short to go where it's supposed to go originally. It's like they want you to put it up here by the right at the throttle body. It's all the longer it really is. So I had to get me an extension, because first of all, it has to go out here where there's a lot of room for the air to stay smooth and flowing. You can't have it too close to the throttle body where it can read a whole bunch of turbulence and stuff. It'll give you false readings. All right, just ask the GM engineers, that's not me. All right, this one is about a 2-foot extension. We'll plug this in here. Okay, that doesn't want to lock down. Okay, I'm going to take this one and we plug it in right here. Oh, huh. Well, this one doesn't have a notch either. That's not the original one. I'm gonna have to carve a notch on this side over here so it'll go down all the way. Perfect. All right, the harness is now officially done. I know I've said this before, at least up front on this side of the firewall. Everything's plugged in. We just got to figure out how to fasten this to the side. I'm thinking just a big zip tie really right around here. On the other side of the firewall, we've got all this to put in. This is the harness for the lights, obviously, as you can tell. Nice billet piece here. Horn and hazard button. This is from Race Wire Solutions. No sticker. Oh, there we go. Race Wire. And then this is the fan. Not all these things, that's old stuff. This harness here is the fan harness. And then this is the new box to put all the relays and fuses in. Now, since we've got the wiring mostly wrapped up on the outside of this thing, for now, at least I think so. There's always something that pops up. I realize there's no reason to have the front clip off anymore. So let's get that put back on and give her a bath and see if we can make this thing look more like a complete truck. Nope. Well, today I got to figure out why my window won't roll up, because it is starting to sprinkle. I mean, you got sun coming through too. It's California, so you're gonna have sun and rain on lots of days. There's some crazy thunder strikes too. Can you hear it? That was a light rumble. All right, windows up. I just realized you got to find the two wires in here, the dark blue and the dark gray. You're not going to find wires for this window down here, and it's just in time because it is starting to sprinkle.
Wondering if I'm gonna be able to go to the skate park today.
This is the original 2003 GMC Yukon Airbox, same as the motor came from. This is a 1994 Chevy C1500. Was not supposed to have an LS in it. We're gonna make this airbox fit right in here like it was meant to be. Sorta. Passenger side, there's a hole there. We're gonna make that just a little bigger. Hole is bigger, and that's gonna be for this guy right here. Ooh. And with this end tightened up, it holds this airbox way away from everything. It's a little boingy, but it's all good, and it's not suffocating. There's plenty of air gap there. And the hood still shuts. Well, you don't see this every day. Come over here just for an oil change, and there's wires hanging. Anybody know what this wire does? You know, and actually that's the first time I've done an oil change on that car since we installed that Baxter anti-backflow thing, whatever that is. And honestly, I forgot how to do it. You don't just press in the valve, you gotta apply a little bit of air to it. It's just terrible. On the bright side, I got my harness hung up. And I think I've finally figured out what I'm going to do with the relay box. I'm going to make a board that's going to hang actually face down from the bottom of this computer tray. And I've got just a few wires to figure out before I really complete it. Like, this is the fuel pump, and I think this is the fuel level. So I gotta, and then these are 3 wires that are coming this way from that same plug. So I gotta figure these out if they're necessary. I want to plug the fuel level sensor in if it's supposed to be. And then we've got this little bit of harness from the range sensor. This is actually like backup light and the park neutral switch. I can hook that up to a relay and set that up so I can't accidentally start it in gear. And then from that board, I'll extend some wires over here somewhere to a switch panel where I can have the start button and this OBD2 port maybe kind of hidden behind it, hanging down somewhere. This is the switch panel I'm going to use. It's the one I had, but now I'm actually going to finally get to use it, and these are the only 2 buttons I'll get to use, funny enough. But I think I'll just screw it there for now until I can figure out something better. This is the main box and the fan relays that I'm going to put on the board. It's a big 10 by 14 board, so there should be room for that, all the terminals, and this little box too to mount to it. And in other videos I got coming up was my son's Jetta that's not here at the moment. We're going to be doing some brake conversions, maybe a big brake upgrade, I'm not sure yet, but follow me, Gibson Garage Speed Shop on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Since I'm waiting on parts to unlock the computer and to build the board for the engine harness in here, let's take a look at this light harness from Race Wires Solutions and see what it's going to take to get this hooked up. So I went for the full package. It's got all the options like the hazard light, and it plugs into the harness, and all I got to do is find out which of these little wires tap into, you know, all of the ends of my wires for lights, but connect them all together, and it should be that simple. Hook this big one up to the battery. Well, on this end it looks pretty simple. You got very detailed instructions. Bundle 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the main power and ground, and then the 12-pin connector. So you got bundle 1, 2, 3, 4, main power and ground, and the 12-pin connector. That's going to connect there. So all I got to do is match all of these loose ends from these 3 bundles, which is these guys here, these first 3 here, and match them up to the wires in my truck. That's going to be the hard part, is identifying all the wires in my vehicle. I don't have to like study the book. That sucks. Well, we got most of the front figured out. Let's see if I can. Except for this blue wire here with the white stripe. I don't see that anywhere in the wiring diagram except for in between the cargo lamp and the cargo lamp switch, which that should be on the inside of the car. There's no cargo lamp out here. I'm gonna have to take the wiring apart and find out where that blue wire goes. Okay, it's Sunday and I finally got all the parts in for the wiring, I think, so we can start building a board and getting that stuff together. Let me show you what I got. I picked this up from CE Auto Electric Supply. They've got all kinds of different size boards, all kinds of different size terminals, and they've got relay. Actually, I bought the relays and these shrink connectors on that Jungle website, and that was Jungle website too first. And then I realized I needed all of these kinds of things too, unless I wanted to do like a bunch of butt connecting and soldering. But this would look pretty cool. I don't know if I'll need this. I don't think I'm going to use the box. I think I'm going to lay out the relays like that, of 8 of them, because that's really all I have terminals for. I really only have terminals for 7 things, but I guess I could start stacking them, because one of these terminals is actually going to serve as the ground for all 8 or 7, and then these will be signal wires available. spots for those, and then available spots for the power wires. And then this is where the power will come in, and it'll be fused, and those will all go to the inputs of the, like, number 30 of the relay, and all the 87s will come out down to their thing. The one main relay will go here and power to here and power like 9 different wires. Everything will come on when you turn the key on. So let's get this inside where it's a little warmer or cooler. So I think I'm going to set it up something just like that. I'm going to use 6 relays for now. I only need 3 really to get the truck started. That's like the main relay, or this will be the main relay. And then, I don't know, fuel pump and starter. I don't know what order I'm going to put them in. But then there's the 3 relays for the radiator fan that I need to integrate also. Okay, so after drawing it out and then revising it, because the radiator harness needs to get wired up a little differently than everyone else, I finally figured it out. I'm going to run 8 relays, and the first 5 will be wired up standard, I guess, and then the last 3 will be the fan relays, and they'll get wired up, you know, that funky way. But this will be the main relay that comes down here to the main fuse panel, and that'll go out, and there's a spot here for that piece for the interior lights to sit right here. We'll cut a big square hole for all the wires to go through, and that big thing will mount like that. So now just gotta start running some wire. Well, I've got them mostly bolted in. I got this, those, and that bolted in. I need longer hardware for these guys. I don't have long enough hardware. I'm all out, so making my relay panel today, guys. Got everything screwed down, just waiting on some hardware, so these are placeholders for now. I just got to do a whole lot of wiring. Alright, I've got the holes drilled for these 2, even though I don't have the hardware. We're just holding them in place for now with these punches so I can get some of the wiring done. And then I ran out of more stuff. I ran out of these large yellow connectors, and of course I want to keep it the same, so I don't want a bunch of mismatched stuff going on. Once it's all done, I'll heat shrink it all. I'm also missing some wiring. I need to get some 14 gauge black wire to match this yellow. This 12's a little big. These are all 10 gauge, so they'll all have plenty of power going into the relay. And then these signal wires will all be 14, well, as you can see. And then all these wires will be 14 over here as well. Oh no, so this wire actually will get another 10 to right here to power these. And then these will all be 12s going over here to this bank. That's going to do it for this week's video, guys. I know it's kind of a mashup of like cell phone videos. If you've been following along, you've probably seen most of this stuff throughout the weeks. But I'm waiting on parts now, so this is as far as I'm getting. Hope you guys have a happy Labor Day. And until next time, peace.